as we're going into some of these, higher profile divorces, and you've even created a space in your location to have private judging. And what that is actually having somebody come in and trying the case, and we've called it a lot of different, there's some terms that are kind of out of favor at this point. So I won't mention them, but like this private judging, or sort of like arbitration, mediation, combo, do you think that that's where we're going to progress, so that we are not having this as a public record? Because in my area, if we have judges or lawyers or famous people get divorced, their cases sort of get sealed in some capacity, so that it's not actually public record, or their initials, so you can't find it as easily. But for really high profile cases, like, where do you see the future? Is it private judging? Is it mediation? Is it arbitrate? Like, where do you kind of see the future of this going?
Well, you have 14 hours. You gave me a lot of questions there. There's a lot to cover. There's private judging, there's mediation, there's arbitration, there's sealing, there's using initials.
I
There's,
know.
so the bottom line is that we have a lot in our toolbox that we can do to keep public figures out of the public, right? And there are a lot of ways we can do it. One way is we can just draft everything. Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, for instance, you heard about their divorce once they were divorced. You didn't really hear that they're going to get divorced. So they've been working on that, I'm sure. No guarantees, but I'm sure more than a week, probably more than a year or two, to get all their ducks in a row and document everything. And that's how we like to do it with big cases, where it is all solved and settled. So that by the time the public hears they're divorced, there's a nice joint statement. We want to keep this private. We appreciate everyone allowing us our privacy. We are divorced, or we will be divorced within a week. So that's the best way to do it, to keep privacy. But next best thing, Georgia, for instance, allows you to mediate and arbitrate everything. We call it private judging because we usually have a private judge, and we pay them. We built a courtroom in our office, and we have the judge come in, and people are paying them a few $100s an hour to listen and to say, you need to talk, and you've got some unique situations. I don't want the public walking in here, and I don't want the bailiff whispering to their friend. We do it in our office, or we do it by Zoom. That's a new way to do it. Mediation is in every case almost, celebrity, non-celebrity. But as far as if you have to file it, but you want to keep it private, there's always that debate. We had a case where the other side used initials, and their case got thrown out because you got to identify the person. The public has a right to know. There's a big tension. You remember the Fannie Willis, Nathan Wade. When Nathan Wade got divorced, that case was sealed, and the judge, took a little bit of heat for sealing it, because the public has a right to know what's going on in the Nathan Wade divorce. But Nathan Wade also has a competing interest in keeping his life private. So there's a balance there. The best way to keep it sealed is to not file anything, and to say, I trust you, we're going to keep the agreement in the lawyer's office, with the small risk that if something goes wrong or somebody doesn't file it, that the judge may not later enforce it because it wasn't in the court record. We put all the right language in there, and they do this a lot in California, that everyone's going to abide by this agreement that's not being filed with the court. But it's not really been tested that I know of, and somebody has not come back and said, well, I don't want to follow it. Because it's sort of a hard position to say, I signed it, I agreed to it, but because they didn't file it, I don't want you to enforce it, Judge. The issue isn't whether it was filed. The issue is, did you agree to it? But again, is it really a court order if the court didn't sign the actual document, or wasn't attached to the order the court signed? So there are a lot of moving parts. A lot of times what we do is just pre-divide things. Let's go ahead and move title into your name, move title into his name, and then agree in the divorce that everyone keeps what's in their own names. That way you don't have to say she gets the car or she gets the beach property. You just say she gets what's in her name and he gets what's in his name, as long as we're very sure that we've moved the right things into the right names. And that's where good CPAs come into play and help.